Greetings, Iridians. Welcome back to Movin' Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we watch Muppets from space 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Ryan Rowe.
I'm your other host, Anthony Strand.
And this week we have a first-time guest. Guest, please introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm David Pierce, and I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I'm the author of the best-selling book, the Bewitched history book about the 60s TV series Bewitched.
Yeah, that's so cool. Bewitched. For our listeners who might not be familiar, how would you summarize the TV show Bewitched in maybe one sentence?
A witch marries a stuffy mortal, and it's all about how they reconcile living together because he doesn't want her to perform witchcraft and her family's always popping in. That was kind of a long sentence.
No, that's good. I think that sums it up. When I have revisited...
It had multiple clauses, but it was a sentence.
There might have been some semicolons, yeah. When I've revisited Bewitched in recent years, I've been kind of surprised at how a lot of the trouble that happens is actually caused by Samantha's family, like her relatives and her friends, more than her. Like she's not actually the one doing the magic that causes the problems, it seems like.
Right. It's usually her mother and Dora or Uncle Arthur or any myriad of people.
Yeah. Who's your favorite of all the various relatives and supporting characters who drop by?
So the female is her cousin Serena, that's also played by Elizabeth Montgomery. And then my favorite male character is Dr. Bombay, the witch doctor.
Yeah.
He's my absolute favorite.
Yeah, he's good. I always like Aunt Clara.
I love her.
It's her befuddled older aunt or great aunt, I guess.
Yeah, like it's kind of dicey as to what the actual relationship is. But one of the things that I love about Bewitched is that they incorporated a lot of real life stuff. Like the actress that played her, Marion Lorne, actually collected doorknobs like Aunt Clara collects doorknobs.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
I'm a Maurice man myself.
So. Nice.
Yeah, it always felt like kind of eventful when Maurice showed up. I feel like he didn't show up that often. So
right. David, you probably know how many episodes Maurice Evans is in.
Off the top of my head, I think it's 9, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, see,
Maurice 9 episodes in
8 seasons.
Yeah, there you go, Maurice.
In the 4th season at all.
Huh, okay.
Is that right? Yeah.
And that's Samantha's father and Endora's estranged husband.
Yeah, they have an open marriage, kind of.
It seems like it, yeah. It's kind of a progressive whatever, like situationship, I guess we would say now, but for a show in the 60s.
Oh yeah, very progressive.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to go back and revisit Bewitched, or if you've never seen it, you should check it out. It's streaming, I think most episodes on Hulu currently.
Yeah, all episodes are on Hulu or Disney Plus, which I thought was so awesome that Bewitched would be on Disney Plus.
Huh.
Are the first 2 seasons in black and white now? Because when Amazon Prime had them up, they were colorized.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're colorized. No, but on Hulu and Disney Plus, the black and white. But the bad part is that they edit it so it's not the original 4:3 window.
Oh, it's like fake widescreen.
Yeah, and I don't like that. But
yeah,
I guess as long as new kids are gonna watch it.
Yeah, they do that with MASH on Hulu and Disney Plus as well.
And that's like my second favorite show.
Great show.
There you go. Wow. All right. Well, thanks for being here. I think we're all Bewitched fans as well as Muppet fans, as you can tell. And you are here to talk about minutes 77 and 78 of Muppets from Space, in which the aliens choose an ambassador to their planet and Gonzo prepares to leave. So we begin with everyone still laughing at K. Edgar Singer, who just made a fool of himself when he failed to fire the really big gun at Gonzo and the aliens. Kermit says, that was a close one. And then who should appear behind him but Bobo as Rentro, who says, not as close as you think, my friend. And he holds up the electronic cartridge thingy, the clip, whatever this is, which he has removed from the gun without Singer's knowledge.
Yep. And this, I feel like this is the payoff, that Bobo as Rentro was a Muppet all along.
Yeah,
because
right.
he's been on the enemy side, but now he's joined the team,
Yeah.
and I'm so pleased.
Yeah, yeah, this is what we've been waiting for this whole movie. Yeah. He's a good guy. So Bobo as Rentro is sort of mockingly repeating the please load weapon, just like the gun just said. The Muppets are very amused at this. Kermit goes, ah. And the way this shot is blocked, it's so obvious how big the Bobo puppet is. You can really tell because he just towers over not only Kermit and Piggy and Fozzie, but especially Rizzo. Like he is huge compared to Rizzo.
Yeah, and I also noticed how weird Sweetums looked in that shot.
Oh, is Sweetums back there?
Yeah, like I guess he was crouching, but it looked weird to me.
Huh. I didn't even notice. He's behind the rest of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just a tiny little Sweetums back there.
I guess
Yeah.
so. Maybe they dug a hole to put him in.
Yeah.
Singer is still very upset. He's on his hands and knees on the ground, crying now as everyone laughs at him. The aliens approach him. The Uber Gonzo says, "We are honored to meet you." And this other alien Gonzo, who has this puffy purple wig on, says, "A most extraordinary performance." So they love this guy. They're really
Hmm.
not. I think we might have said this last week. They're not really laughing at him. They're laughing with him, or that
Yeah, they
they're trying to.
yeah they think he's being funny
Which I
intentionally.
don't understand because I just watched those prior 2 minutes and I was like, what?
Yeah, he's not doing anything funny, really.
No.
I mean, he
Yeah,
like trips. He's like doing pratfalls. I think that's what it is.
I felt like they were laughing at him, even though they said they were laughing with him. Well, they didn't really say it, but they insinuated.
right. This is an alien sense of humor.
Right, but I think the intention is that they like think he is being a clown. He is clowning for them, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I just didn't
So
get it. And also, I I noticed that all the alien gonzos look like the dodos from Follow That Bird with gonzo noses attached. Did you notice that?
I can see
Hmm.
it. I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, something about their eye focus, maybe.
And like kind of their beak, but all of a sudden they have that curvy. Yeah. I love that movie, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, great
Yeah.
movie.
But yeah, they had to come up with a lot of different variations on the Gonzo design for all these different aliens.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. Singer says, "What are you talking about?" And the Uber Gonzo asks Gonzo who his most entertaining friend is. Gonzo says, "That's Ed." An alien wearing a crown says, "Hi, Ed." And then the puffy purple wig alien says, "Hello, Ed," in a way that is very deadpan and very funny.
Very, very funny.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell who that character was. The Hello Ed, who we're gonna also say the Cape for Ed, right? Is gonna come up in a
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
second.
coming.
I couldn't,
Um,
couldn't place it either.
and so I asked the Tough Pig staff if anyone knew, and a couple of people made educated guesses that it was Alice Deneen, Cam Garrity, and Shane Keating, past and future guests on the podcast. Both said they thought it was Alice. So, also past and future guest Jared emailed Peter Linz, Alice's husband,
Ah.
to ask, and Peter confirmed that that is Alice, and the lines were ad libbed.
Oh,
Oh,
great.
awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
So that's great.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
I'm glad you got an answer to that. I love that.
Yeah, me too. I was so thanks for the help, everyone. Thanks to Peter for the answer. And of course, thanks to Alice for the delightful performance.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Alice Deneen as this this one alien Gonzo, the MVP of these 2 minutes,
Yep.
Mhm.
the
Very much so.
most valuable alien. Then yeah, so the Uber Gonzo calls for the cape, and the crown alien repeats the cape, and then this Alice Deneen alien repeats the cape for Ed.
Gonzo of Earth, who is this most entertaining friend of yours?
That's it.
Hi, Ed.
Hello, Ed.
The cape!
The cape!
The cape for Ed.
There it is. We love it.
Yeah.
Uh, the aliens bring a shiny cape. They place it on Singer's shoulders. One of the aliens who brings the cape looks a lot like just our regular standard Gonzo. So I wonder if a couple of these alien Gonzos were just old leftover Gonzo puppets that they just kind of redressed a little bit.
That seems
That would
very
be a
likely.
good use of old puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if they had some
for
old
sure.
Gonzos lying around, they might as well.
Yeah.
The Uber Gonzo says, because of your comic instincts, we have chosen you as ambassador to our planet. Singer is genuinely moved by this. He says, you mean you want me to go with you? To boldly go where no man has gone before? And as he begins this sort of monologue, this is the actual Star Trek music that starts playing, right?
Yes, this is the fanfare from the Star Trek the original series theme. Yes.
Right. Yeah. From Captain Kirk's
Yeah.
opening
Era.
narration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Uh,
And well, so I don't know for sure that Kirk Thatcher got because this is so Star Trek is a Paramount property, and this
yeah,
movie was made by Sony, so they didn't own the music automatically. It's not
true.
something that was in their library. But I have to imagine that Kirk Thatcher pulled some strings to get this in the movie. So can we talk about Kirk Thatcher's history with Star Trek real
Oh,
quick?
sure. Yeah,
Please
please.
do.
Because it's deep and long running. One of his first jobs was on Wrath of Khan as a prop builder.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
The second Star Trek movie, and he did the same job on Search for Spock, the third Star Trek movie, second and third, and then on four he was an associate producer.
Hmm.
Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. He's an associate producer, and more famously, he's in the movie
Yes.
as Punk on Bus. He plays a punk with a mohawk, very loudly playing music on a boombox,
Right.
Oh wow.
and it's a song. Yeah, and it's a song called "I Hate You," which is the movie is credited to a band called Edge of Etiquette, but was in fact co-written by Kirk Thatcher and performed by Kirk Thatcher.
Yeah.
So is playing his own character. And then he, 38 years later, he played that character again on an episode of Picard when Jean-Luc Picard travels in time to 2024.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow.
Kirk Thatcher played an older version of that same character. And he also definitely pulled his Star Trek strings to get William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and George Takei on Muppets Tonight.
Right, because then at some point in the late 80s, he started working for the Henson Company.
Right. But he was always a Star Trek guy at heart, still to this
Yeah.
day. So
Yeah, and
I
he
have to imagine he's how they got that music.
because he was still there at this point. Yeah, so and also he co-wrote Muppet Treasure Island, which also includes a moment where Gonzo starts going into the Star Trek opening narration as
Oh,
he's
that's right.
daydreaming about going on an adventure. So
Yeah, and we maybe talked about some of this then too.
maybe a little bit, but yeah, not to this
listeners,
extent.
I apologize if so.
No, I don't think we did to the same extent, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't remember hearing any of this. But also speaking of Shatner, I felt like
Mhm.
it would have been a good opportunity for him to make a cameo, like to come in here and tell and to keep it quiet. That's his line.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta wonder
Yeah.
if maybe they ever talked about that or thought about that. But maybe
Yeah, it would-
because they had already done it on Muppets Tonight. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, he did a Twilight Zone reference on Muppets Tonight, though, Ryan. Your favorite show.
That's true. Yeah, while reading a Tech War book, right? That he
That's
one of his
right.
own
Yeah,
books.
one of his own Tech Word novels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I have a feeling I haven't seen that particular episode of Muppets Tonight.
It's a very brief scene at the end of which episode? It's one with Piggy in it, so there aren't that many of them that she's prominent in.
Let's see who can pull it up on Muppet Wiki the quickest.
I'm just waiting
It
for you.
is the Whoopi
Yeah, me too.
the Whoopi Goldberg episode. The
There you
episode with guest star Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, I know I saw that. I just forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's another reason to go back and rewatch Muppets Tonight.
Sweet.
And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, David, that you are here to talk about this scene for a specific reason, but we haven't gotten to it yet, right?
No, not
Okay.
yet.
If
Almost
I,
there.
okay, if I gloss over it, just call it out.
Okay.
Okay. Uber Gonzo says this would be their great privilege, and he asks if he may call singer Zongo. I think I mentioned previously that in the screenplay drafts, the aliens all have names that are anagrams of Gonzo. So like Gosno, Osnog, Zogno. So this is kind of, I guess, a leftover artifact from that, but we never hear any of the other names except for Uber Gonzo. But
We are going to hear about Zongo again in the next movie because that's what Constantine calls Gonzo when he misremembers his name.
oh, that's true.
Oh,
He's confusing him with Jeffrey Tambor.
Not the next movie. Two movies from now. Of
Two
course.
movies. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Muppets Most
Huh.
Wanted.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Singer doesn't actually say yes to this, but he does nod because he's just so caught up in his monologue. He says, to travel the stars like a modern day Magellan, to be up there with John Glenn, Neil Armstrong. And I don't know if anybody out there needs to be informed who these guys are, but they're astronauts. Uh,
Yes.
John Glenn was the first American to orbit the Earth. He did that in 1962. Years later, he served as a U.S. Senator. Not long before this movie came out, he made headlines again because he went back to space at the age of 77 in 1998 on the Space Shuttle Discovery.
Hmm.
At the time, he was the oldest person to go to space, but that record has since been broken, among other people, by William Shatner.
That's right. Yeah.
And then Neil Armstrong, another astronaut, was on the Apollo 11 mission. He was the first person to walk on the moon. Now, Neil Armstrong landed on the moon in 1969. But David, I want to ask you because I remember an episode of Bewitched where Darren becomes obsessed with finding out if Samantha has ever been to the moon. I can't, but I don't remember. Does he ever actually figure it out?
So that's in season 4, and he's
Okay.
watching like they're gonna go around the moon,
Yeah.
and she is vacuuming and it disrupts the TV. So he gets mad at her and he's talking about how she should be more interested in the moon than vacuuming. And she flippantly states that she's already been to the moon. And so then he gets nervous about it. And in the meantime, her and her mother go to Japan and get some Warlock tea. And he finds
Great.
that and thinks that it's moon dust. And so
Ah.
then he takes it to the local pharmacist to get it analyzed, and they can't figure out what's in it. And so he thinks it really is moon dust. And then Samantha, like, they come to the pharmacist and his, I think it's his brother or his cousin from NASA, which not NASA, but Nassau. So they come to the door and she twitches up a breeze and the dust flies everywhere, so they can't have it.
So it's inconclusive whether Samantha Stevens has ever been to the moon.
Right. And then later next season, Endora goes to the moon 3 months before uh, Neil Armstrong did
Oh,
to
okay.
find Samantha's cousin Henry. And it's the worst. Like, I don't know why they used this gross clay ball for the Earth
Huh.
Mhm.
in the background when they had all these pictures from NASA.
Oh, yeah.
But
Huh.
also, I wanted to mention about NASA. My dad worked at Houston NASA during the moon landing
Oh, wow.
as a radio technician, and we have a certificate in our living room that is from NASA congratulating him on being part of an historic mission.
Whoa.
And he also, my dad kept everything, so he had like a this huge technical manual about how the moonlanders built, and he
Oh,
had his
cool.
badges and everything. So we took him to Antiques Roadshow a couple years ago when they were here, and I thought
Mm.
like the badges and the certificate would be the best thing. The guy flipped out over the manual because he's like, those got thrown out because the technology got better.
Oh,
So
right.
Sure. Yeah.
it ended up being worth like I think 900 to $1,000, but I
Whoa.
didn't sell it.
Yeah, no, I can see why you'd want to hang on to that. Huh.
Yeah,
Wow, that's really cool. But okay, so there we have it. Neil Armstrong, first human on the moon, but it sounds like some witches and warlocks might have beat him there.
Pandora's was there before.
Okay, good to establish that. So Bobo as Rentro says to Singer, "Yeah, okay, I think you better get going. They're waiting for you there." The Uber Gonzo shows. I guess we should now call him Zongo though, because that's his new name now. It shows Zongo
That's
where
an
to
excellent
go.
Also,
name. Yeah.
Bobo is Rentro, that line when he's like, yeah, okay. I felt like that was what the whole audience was thinking. Like, let's get this show on the road. This movie's lasted at least 45 minutes too long.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's enough of this little speech.
Yeah.
Let's bring this movie to a conclusion. Um, but it's not over yet. As he walks off, Bobo as Rentro says, "Baby steps, sir, baby steps." I did not remember this being a callback. So
That's the third time. Rule of
Yeah,
three.
And I thought that part was funny. Like Bobo to me, when I went to see it, I thought that Pepe was going to be my favorite, but Bobo,
Hmm.
he's just hilarious in this whole movie. And the baby steps
Yeah,
callback I liked.
great.
yeah, he's good.
He is good. I agree.
He is the highlight of all the scenes with Singer and General Luft and all the Covenant stuff. So then the Uber Gonzo says to Gonzo, time to beat feet. Come along, little brother. Anthony, I don't remember if it was you or one of our guests who pointed out the Uber Gonzo really is a lot like Floyd.
Right,
I was
right.
just
Well,
going to say that.
that was me, and of course, as you, I'm sure you're about to say, Ryan. Can I say
Sure.
that Floyd says this exact thing to Kermit in the Muppet movie
Yeah.
Wow.
when Doc Hopper is on their tail and Max comes to warn them. Uh, Kermit Floyd says, "Time to beat feet, Kermit."
Beat feet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I wonder if it's just something Jerry Nelson said, because
Ah.
that's not an expression I've ever heard outside of Jerry Nelson saying it in Muppet things.
Yeah, I noted that Uber Gonzo sounded like Floyd after like 20 packs of cigarettes for 15 years.
Well,
Yeah,
there you have
yeah.
it. Yeah,
And that's probably who he is,
that's
if we're
about,
being
yeah, that's
honest.
probably accurate.
Like
Uh, Gonzo is overwhelmed. He says, "This is happening so fast." He turns around to address his friends. He says, "Well, guys, I'm gonna miss you, and I'll be thinking about you." I forgot to look it up. There's a moment in the outtakes from this movie where Dave Goelz just like says some of these lines in the wrong order, and then everybody just cracks up. And then he tries to cover it by ad-libbing and making it sound right, but it doesn't work. But maybe I'll insert a clip of that here.
Guys, well, gee, there's just so many things that I want to say to you guys. I'm gonna miss you. I don't know where to start. I'll be thinking about you. This is really a disaster. I get another one.
I like that Fozzie is holding his hat in his hands as this is happening. It just makes him look pensive, like he's very thoughtfully thinking about Gonzo about to leave. And then is this around the time, David,
This is
that the
where
thing?
this is why I wanted these 2 minutes, which are pretty
Okay.
much the worst minutes of the whole movie.
They just might be, but there's something in the
So one of
background,
the
yes?
yeah, one of the alien enthusiasts is wearing this suit that's silver and it like has like a I don't want to say crown, but like a collar. That's what it is. And it has buttons on it. And being the bewitched nerd that I am, that same I swear it's the very same suit, but it's worn backwards from Bewitched 28 years earlier in the episode that I feel is where Bewitched starts to decline, and it's from season
Oh.
seven's Mary the Good Fairy, which aired in January of 1971. And in Bewitched, it was a contraption to be worn by housewives called the reducilator that
oh
would
no.
help them lose weight while they worked around this house in that huge costume. And so I immediately noticed it, of course, when I first watched the movie. And
Sure.
it's because Sony bought Columbia Studios, who produced Bewitched through their Screen Gems imprint. And so it must have been laying in the costume closet that whole time. And then they're like, well, this looks kind of wild. And so they
Yeah.
brought it out.
Right, and they filmed this at the Screen Gems studio. I don't remember if it was actually still called that at the time. I'm sure somebody listening to this will tell us, but uh yeah, so it's perfectly like plausible that they just had a bunch of costumes and stuff still in storage from the Bewitched days, and they were looking
Yeah.
for stuff that a bunch of alien enthusiasts would wear, and they found that thing.
And if I always, when I got the movie on DVD, I would always look to see if maybe there were other costumes, but I never saw any.
Huh. That's
Sure.
actually kind of surprising because there were definitely some unusual costumes on Bewitched.
Yeah.
over the
And they
years.
actually had an alien episode where these dog aliens, like one of them was Steve Franken that looked like a poodle, and I can't remember the other guy's name. He looked like a kind of like a fox with floppy ears.
Huh.
They come from, and Clara zaps them out of the sky from millions of light years away, and they come down and of course, Gladys Kravitz sees this huge UFO in the back of the Stevens' backyard,
Of
and she gets
course.
the military involved, which would have been a perfect crossover for I Dream of Jeannie to be involved,
Oh
because
yeah.
that was also a Screen Gem show, but Bewitched was on ABC and Jeannie was on NBC, so that wouldn't
Right.
have worked at that time.
Huh. So, but they were actually aliens in that
Yeah,
episode?
they were actually like so Darren had this UFO toy that actually floated, which was kind of cool, but of course it was just on strings.
Yeah.
and and Clara was babysitting Tabitha and they were playing with it and the UFO toy went out into the night, so she tried to call it from out of the night and instead got the big UFO that looks just like the toy with the two dog Alpha and Norvis aliens on it.
Huh. It's funny. Bewitched is a show where witches are doing magic in every single episode, but something about you describing an episode where aliens show up, like I'm kind of thinking, I don't know, that feels like a
Yeah.
step too far, but
Yeah,
it
I don't
really
like it. And
shouldn't
it's
be.
actually it's sad that it's Aunt Clara's last episode because Marion Lauren died a little bit after that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it holds a special place, but also I don't like the idea that they would include aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels weird somehow.
Yeah.
But they also turned a dog into Richard Dreyfuss one time. And
Yes.
and that guy met aliens in a famous movie.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's true.
So
Later.
And I
there you
just met
go.
Richard Dreyfuss last September.
Did you talk to
Oh,
him about
wow.
Bewitched? Did he have
I
anything to
was
say
wearing a
about it?
Bewitched shirt. I didn't have a lot of time, and he seemed
Mhm.
like he was. I don't want to talk ill of Richard Dreyfuss, but
He's
he is
he's
really
famously
old.
not a friendly fellow.
He's
Yeah.
cranky.
But he was smiling the whole time, and they wanted me to sit because I paid a lot of money to get my picture with him.
Sure.
Um, and they wanted me to sit in a chair and have him stand behind me.
Hmm.
And I said, I'm not sitting in a chair for this picture. Do you mind if you sit and I'll stand? And he said, okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Wow,
Nice.
okay.
Because I'm a rather larger gentleman. So I did not want to be sitting in a chair and have my Santa Claus belly like sticking out in this professional picture. But it turned
Sure.
out great.
Okay, cool. I mean, I wonder, it was so long ago. Does Richard Dreyfuss even remember being in an episode of Bewitched?
Yeah, he actually was interviewed. There was a biography of Elizabeth Montgomery that aired on the Reels Network, I think 3 years ago.
Hmm.
And he was interviewed for it. And apparently he was high most of the time. And
Huh.
but he remembered like because he watched the show before he got on there. It was one of his very first TV appearances. He played a warlock named Rodney that Samantha used to babysit, and he had a crush on her, and he came back trying to win her back, and so transformed himself into a dog that Darren wanted to bring home. So
I'm sure I've seen that one at some point.
it's in
It's pretty
season two.
early. Season 2,
Yeah,
yeah. I was like, I knew it
Yeah.
was black and white.
season two
Yeah, I definitely
called
watched the
Man's
black and
Best
white
Friend.
ones on Nick at Night a lot
Right. That's
back in
where
Yeah.
I
those
saw it.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening to our Bewitched podcast, everyone.
Oh, I love it.
So, well, where did we leave off? I'm gonna miss you. I'll be thinking about you. Yeah, oh, yeah. So that costume, though, yeah, it's just, and you sent me a picture of it, and it sure looks like the same costume. So that's just,
Yeah.
I'm just so impressed that you spotted that. And yeah, I don't know why there would be two costumes that look just like that. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
inclined to think that's the same thing. And
Yeah, it looks the same.
yeah, I just wonder, there's got to be at least one other costume here that's recycled from something else. So I hope one of these days other people can identify some of the other ones.
And I also today realized that that costume appears in Bewitched, where I feel that that's where the show started going downhill. And it appears in this movie where I felt like the Muppets were going downhill.
You know, there's an argument to be made there. Yeah.
Maybe that costume's cursed.
That's what did it. Yeah, I hope they destroyed it after this movie. What point in the history of Bewitched is that episode? It must be fairly late.
It's halfway through season 7, and they went for 8 seasons.
Oh, okay.
But you can totally tell Elizabeth Monk, and I don't know if it's because she's such a great actress, but she acts so annoyed with everything that's going on in that
Hmm.
episode. And I just feel like it was Elizabeth being like, I'm done.
Yeah,
Sure.
could be.
Yeah.
Gonzo approaches Rizzo next. He says, Rizzo, buddy. And Rizzo says, no, 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 not me. I do not do goodbyes. Gonzo says, well, I just want to tell you, I just want you to take care of yourself, which is a little bit clumsily worded. It kind of doesn't sound like a scripted line, but I actually like that in this case because when you're suddenly when you suddenly find yourself in a situation like this, you don't sound super articulate. So this actually sounds very authentic to me. And that's actually the end of these 2 minutes.
And it
So
feels to me a lot like the scene at the end of The Wizard of Oz, where Dorothy's saying goodbye to all her friends one by one.
yeah, this whole thing.
The difference, of course, being that Dorothy leaves and the movie is over. Whereas
Yeah,
Gonzo, spoiler, is not going to go anywhere. And we're
Yeah.
still taking time for these goodbyes as though he
true.
were.
So I did
mean-
watch the rest of the movie. I didn't realize how late in the movie these 2 minutes were.
Yeah, very close to
Um,
the end.
Yeah, so I watched the rest and I was like, huh, all this build up for him just to stay. And then we never hear about his alien brethren ever again, which is a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, I think we've probably mentioned this already, but at some point there was an interview or a live appearance somewhere where Gonzo was asked about his alien family or being an alien, and he said something basically like, "Oh, that was just a movie." So I guess at the very least, either Gonzo the character or Dave Goelz the performer doesn't consider it to be real.
Yeah.
He's just
Which-
Gonzo. He's just a whatever.
Which is probably a good choice.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think most fans would probably agree with that. So I will just mention a quick screenplay draft thing here. In the 11/25/1998 draft, the aliens specify that they want Singer to come back with them to be a guest performer. And when he starts talking about being up there with John Glenn, Neil Armstrong, Rentro says, Joey Bishop, Nipsey Russell, all the greats, sir.
What on earth?
I think that's funny.
Those are the two?
Yeah, but
That's crazy.
I find that funny, but I can understand why they would assume that most people who are not like us would not really think that was, or not even understand why that was a joke. So
Listen to the audio commentary today, and they do mention at that scene, I think it's Dave Goelz as Gonzo mentions Nipsey Russell after he, he says Nipsey Russell because I was like, oh man, that's funny.
oh, in that moment.
Yeah, in the
Oh,
audio
so he was
commentary,
probably
yeah.
remembering that from the draft. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonzo's going to say goodbye to him and remind him to keep himself oiled. Because
There you go.
Russell played the Tin Man
Yeah,
in
yeah,
The
yeah.
Wiz.
And Gonzo also played the Tin Thing in the
Gonzo and
Muppets
Nipsey
Wizard of
Russell are
Oz.
both the Tin Man. Ryan!
Wow. All right. Anything else on these 2 minutes? David, starting with you.
No, I think I said all I wanted to say. I was pretty surprised, like when I watched the 2 minutes, like how fast it went, and also how
Yeah.
really nothing happens.
Yeah, it's kind of an uneventful 2 minute. I mean, unless you're really a big K. Edgar Singer fan, I guess.
Yeah.
That's right.
Not a lot happening in this clip. Okay, Anthony, anything on these 2 minutes?
Well, earlier when we were talking about Neil Armstrong, I was going to say that in 1999, for the 30th anniversary of the moon landing, he, Michael Collins, and Buzz Aldrin did visit the White House and meet Bill Clinton again. So every 10 years, they went to the White House and met the president.
Oh,
They have photos with Nixon, of course, on the day they
Right.
got back. Jimmy Carter, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton in 99, and then Obama in 2009, which was the last time all three of them were alive.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
You know, but yeah, so since this movie happened to come out right around the 30th anniversary, just days before the movie came out, what, July 14th?
I think so.
I don't remember the exact date, but July, yeah.
And the anniversary is July 20th.
Huh.
So just days after being mentioned in this film, Neil Armstrong returned to the White House and met President Clinton.
Wow. Neil Armstrong was everywhere this week.
I wonder if those guys actually watched this movie and were like, "Oh, we got mentioned."
That'd be great.
Huh.
So
Yeah, do you think Neil Armstrong had an assistant or something who was like, "Oh, hey, you might want to go see the new Muppet movie. They say your name in it."
I hope so.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Um, okay, that was. Oh, actually, I do have one listener comment transmission from space. In a previous episode, we talked about a deleted scene from a screenplay draft where there was a cameo from Doctor Strange, Pork, and Link, and we tried to remember the first time Link spoke after Jim Henson's passing. And a few listeners on various platforms reminded us that Link spoke in the video game Muppet Race Mania, which came out before Muppets Party Cruise. So that was probably the first time that Link, the recast Link spoke. So there's that. All right, so David, we have two questions that we ask all of our guests on this season of the podcast. The first one being, what is your history with this movie?
So I went to see it in the theaters with my junior high crush, Karina. In '99, I was, let's see, and the summer I was 22, and we had reconnected.
Oh,
And so I remember I wanted so desperately to love this movie, and I was kind of embarrassed that I brought Karina to see it, but she insisted that she loved it. And I did like the funk music, and especially Shining Star. That I feel like that's the first time I ever heard that song. And so when I found the original, that's my theme song by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like that song that's just me. But yeah, so yeah, I went and saw it in the theater, and then I bought the DVD and I bought the soundtrack. But that was everything I had to do with it.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you wanted to go ahead because you have not been on a previous season to rank the Muppet movies.
Yes, I do. This is my last place.
Okay.
And then it goes, so number 8, that was it. Number 7, Muppets Most Wanted. 6, Treasure Island. 5, Muppets 2011. 4, Christmas Carol. 3, Manhattan. 2, The Muppet Movie. And 1, The Great Muppet Caper, like you two.
Ah, there you go.
Caper Boy.
Another Caper Boy. Yep.
I love, like, Caper is in a class all by itself for me.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
We used to, so like when we were younger, my dad would go and rent us a VCR and videotapes. And we always, well, at least I always, because I'm the oldest of 4 kids, he'd say, "What do you want?" "Great Muppet Caper and Labyrinth." And he'd get so mad. That's all we wanted to watch. And one time he had the unmitigated gall to come home with Mary Poppins. Furious.
An all-time classic, but not what you wanted.
It's a great movie.
It's great. He's like, "It's got cartoon penguins in it. Who cares? Where's the Muppets?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. When you want Muppets, that's what you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And our second question is, what is your favorite sci-fi movie or TV show or other thing?
So, it's what pretty much everybody's been saying this whole season, Back to the Future.
Okay.
Great choice.
Because I'm not really so much into sci-fi. I like, of course, Bewitched fantasy. And
I thought you were going to say the episode of Bewitched with aliens in it.
Yeah. My favorite author, and he's not science fiction per se, but it's Terry Pratchett with the Discworld series.
Love it.
Oh, love, like, I'm just through my, I think it's second or third reread of all the books.
Wow.
Um, but he's my absolute favorite. I've never laughed so hard as I have reading his books.
He's the
Hmm.
greatest. I'm reading them through for the first time now.
Oh,
And
nice.
I started in 2022 and I decided that I would read exactly two a year until I run out. And so I'm in the middle of my ninth one, Moving Pictures. It's great. And my as you know, I'm a librarian. So my wife this past year got me a print from the Discworld Emporium of it's the librarian in the Unseen University Library, just like
The
hanging out on top of
orangutan.
a table. The orangutan librarian, just like hanging out on top of a table with like, all the like magical,
The
bric-a-brac
best.
around him. Yeah, it's so cool. And it's hanging in my office at school. And a lot of kids have asked me what it is. So I get
Oh,
to
that's
talk about it.
awesome. And also,
Yeah,
I, you have the best wife, Ross Strand, when she
I
guest
do.
stars on this podcast, the best. And also your kids.
Thank
Like
you. Thank you.
you did good choosing a wife and raising them kids.
Thank you. Thank you, David. I'll pass the compliments along.
Yeah.
They're fan favorites for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right. Then actually, I thought of another Bewitched thing. Were you watching Nick at Night when they did the Who's More Powerful poll with Samantha versus Jeannie?
Yes. And I also, so TV Guide had like a little article about who they thought was more powerful, and I think they went with Jeannie.
Yeah.
And I wrote them a sternly worded letter sent through snail mail.
Yeah.
It didn't get printed,
Ah.
but um there's no way that Jeannie's more powerful than Samantha, because Jeannie gets locked in a safe for 4 episodes.
Oh,
She also gets locked in a locker, which, how does that happen? She should be able to smoke through the vents.
yeah.
That's true.
Samantha would never be caught in any situation like that.
Right. Well, I did call in the whatever, the phone number to Nick at Night and voted for Samantha in that Nick at Night poll, and she
Yes.
won, if as I recall.
Right.
And I think, yeah, my reasoning was mostly like their powers seem to be evenly matched, but Samantha just has better control because Jeannie
Yeah.
is quite impulsive, and but what you say is also that's a good point. Like Jeannie can get stuck in a bottle if the
True.
situation happens. So yeah,
But I love, so of course everybody's always pitting those two shows against one another.
yeah,
And I always like to say that Bewitched is my family where I would live, but my good friends and neighbors are Major Nelson and Jeannie.
sure,
But I wouldn't
Nice.
want to live there.
right,
Sure. Sure.
yeah, I can see that.
And also, um, I went to a 60th anniversary celebration of Jeannie last year and met Barbara Eden for my second time, maybe third
Aw.
time,
Oh, nice.
and got really nice professional pictures with her. And she's 93
Yeah.
and seems like she's way younger than that.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's great. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then with that, we will wrap things up for this week. As always, we want to thank Morgan Davy for our show's logo and Jordan Brandon for our theme song. Listeners, you can find Tough Pigs on the internet at toughpigs.com. We're all over social media as well as TeePublic and Patreon. You can email us at movingrightalong at toughpigs.com. You can chat with other Muppet nerds on the Tough Pigs Discord server. Anthony is on Blue Sky at Durwood Clapper. I am on Blue Sky at me, Ryan Rowe. Anthony is on Letterboxd at Zeppo Marxist. I am on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat. David, thanks once again for joining us. This has been really fun.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And tell us once again, remind us the name of your book.
It's the Bewitched history book, published by Bear Manor Media, who actually published Craig Shemin's Sam and Friends book.
Right,
And
yeah.
Yeah.
it's available on bearmanormedia.com, but you can get it quicker on amazon.com.
Cool.
And
And
then I'm on all the socials for my book at either at Bewitched History Book or Bewitched Book. I can't remember which one, but you'll find me. And I'm on there personally on everything, mainly as Dr. Bombay 76.
there you go. So everybody seek that out, seek out all of those things. And everyone, tell everyone you know, all your fellow alien brethren, to listen to this show. And join us again next week for another episode of Moving Right Along. Hello, Ed.
Goodbye, Ed. Is what I was gonna say.
Ed.